Hello, good evening and welcome to the Little Farmer's Farm with me, Tony, aka Guru Mafenda. Now, I've decided I'm going to give you a bit of a break from all the weeding and clearing and tidying, because it's boring, isn't it? I have still been continuing to weed and clear and tidy, as you can see, hopefully. And I'll be carrying on after this. But today I'm going to reorient to bed, because sorry, the sun's behind me there. So if I just back up. This bed here, as you can see, these follow on these beds up there, but what I want is a continuation from this. So I want it to run parallel with the tiki hut. Okay. Reason being, I am inspired by Joseph Lowe, King of the Elves, the wise old elf. Let's go over to Joe's side. All his beds run parallel to the lane. This is the lane that we're on. And all his beds run parallel to that. I don't think he'll mind me just sneaking on. He's only just left, to be honest with you. Gone back to Rivendell, you know. All Joe's beds run that way. Now, there's only a small gap between them on Joe's side, but what I want to do is have a 2-foot gap. Now I know it takes up some of our growing space, but when I'm going in there doing my weeding, because I do a lot of it by hand, Joe does it all by the hoe and drags it back and that, which is a good method. But I like getting my hands dirty. I'm a bit stupid like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a 2-foot gap, and that way as well I can get my wheelbarrow up and down. That 2 feet will get the wheelbarrow up and down, so we'll have channels all the way up. And eventually we'll be putting the paving slabs, and the paving slabs are 3x2, so that should work out just about right. But I'll crack on. So there's the bed in question. That's a tripod. I'm going to try and mount you on a tripod so that you can see what I'm up to. I want it to run from that. Now that's like a 3-story one. It's got 3 5-inch boards on it, that. And I was using that for potatoes last time. Now this has only got 2, so it's not going to be as high as that. It's probably going to be about 2/3 the height of that as it runs off. So it's probably going to land about there and come off that way. But I'm going to see how it looks, because that is going to be and placed there. So that means it's going to fall probably about here. Not quite that far. What I am going to do then is eventually use the flags, the paving stones up here, or even extend that. I'm not too sure actually. What I want is about a 3-foot gap and then a 2-foot gap there going up like it is now. But we'll see how we land with that once I rotate that and fix it on. Let's get cracking. Right, for this next bit, you're going to have to pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance, well, perhaps not dance, but you're going to have to turn the volume up because it's very quiet to this bit. It's on the tripod. And obviously I've not got a microphone. I'm not Tony O'Neill with his vast studio of accoutrements. Yeah, we have to live with these things. It's not windy, so it should be all right, but you need to turn the volume up. I'll wait for you. Have you done it? Right, I'll see you in 2 minutes. In fact, I'll see you right now. All right. Hope we don't fall over there. Not too much wind about today, but there's always a chance, isn't there? I'm going to get the spade underneath this. These are just fixed with sort of 2x2s that go into the ground a little bit in the corners. I'll show you. But I'll get the spade under it. Here's a spade. Gently lift it up a little bit at each corner. Hope I've not screwed these together. I probably have. This end I have as well. No, I'm not. Here's a bum shot. Alright, so now that's lifted up, I can probably, hopefully, using my Thor-like powers, lift that up. Shift that out a little bit out of the way. That should come up, that. Hopefully. Yep. Alright, up it's come. I'll just lift that out of the way now. Stack it against our fence between me and Mick. Don't want to snap those little posts. Alright, that'll be okay there for a minute or two. Right. Hello. So now what we want to do is we want to place that we've just taken out, that bed, and run it off the other bed, the big bed over there. So it's running this way. Now if I follow that line there from where the edge of that big bed is, and I make a channel there, then this soil won't be in the way when we put the bed down. That's what we need. Alright, so I'll do that. Where the edge of that is, I'll just make a channel there with my spade. Yeah, it lands about there, so I need to shift that out the way. Okay, same here, so I'll paste that out. Yeah, that shouldn't be too far off the mark, but actually I'll just take this little bit on the end out here. As I'm going through this as well, we're finding these. Now last week I said what was inside the tiki tunnel was bindweed. It wasn't, it was English ivy. That's a bindweed root. So we'll get rid of that. We don't want that at all. We don't want it in our little area. Coming across these are handy. I'll show you after. Right. Just see where these land. Right, that's not going to be too bad, that's not going to be too far off, that. Clear some of this away. Because we'll be back filling with this soil afterwards. But to make life a little bit easier, I'm going to pre-dig the holes where these posts are going in. I'm going to pre-dig the holes, yeah, where the posts are going in. And now I know that that's where they're going to land. So I'll just make a little indentation into the soil there. That's where one hole's going to go. The other ones are going to go each corner of that, and then the last one's going to go here. In here. So I'll dig the holes and I'll get back to you. Alright, So 4 holes dug, 4 posts to go into the holes. Now hopefully they should all line up now, so I'll put you back onto the tripod so you can see it in real live time. Welcome back. So I'm going to take my bed and flip it over. And hopefully this will land into the holes that we created. More or less spot on. And it does. Although the holes don't seem to be deep enough. They don't seem to be quite deep enough. But that's what I want. Because I'm going to take a rubber hammer now and knock them in. Start at that side and then alternate corners and then just bed it down, and then you can adjust it and get it level then. With one of them. And that's all I'm going to be doing. That top corner, then that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Keep alternating it like that. And then it'll bed itself in, and I'll make sure as it's level. All right, see the bit. All right, so that's been adjusted, and it's level. It's level all the way around as well. I don't know if you can see that. Just get a zoom in on it. It is level though, I'll tell you that, all the way around. So all I'm going to do now is where the posts are, where the holes are, I'm going to backfill those holes, and then fill it up with the soil. But I think as I'm going through, I'm going to be checking out those bindweed. Anything I can find bindweedy or horse's tail wise, I'll try and shift it. I mean, I could line it, I could take all the soil out and line it, but even then the horse's tail will come. You could put 10 layers of weed membrane, black weed membrane like that. You could put 10 layers down, the horse's tail will still come through. But yeah, we'll just have to endeavour to persevere, boys and girls. Okay, folks. Now we've got that to a reasonable till, been backfilled. I've pulled out any rhizomes that I've found. When I say rhizomes, these are the bindweed. Didn't find any horse's tail, although there was a couple of clumps of horse's tail up there when it was connected to the others up there. The other beds there. There's a couple of horses' tails, but not many, only about 2 or 3. So I think I might have got them out. Fingers crossed. But yeah, those are the rhizomes from all the root stems from the bindweed. Anyway, we've got it down to that level. It's a couple of inches from the top now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to feed the bed. Last year they all got manure, cow manure. But I think we've introduced a lot of weeds with that cow manure and it's all come through. So what I'm using this year is this 6X concentrated farmyard manure. Of course you've got to buy that. It's about a tenner for a big sack, but a little goes a long way with that. I could probably need about 6 handfuls just sprinkling on the top. So we'll do that now actually. We'll get a couple of handfuls and get it sprinkled on the top. Like I say, a little goes a long way with this stuff. It's not weak stuff. This, it's 6 times the strength of normal horse manure. So we'll give it a good top dressing with that, and then continue to get the rest of the soil, and just finish off the bed, top it off. But it's not a bad tilth, is it? Get the tilth on that. All right. Top dress sprinkling there of the old 6X concentrated farmyard manure, about a tenner a bag. Now just going to get that and put it onto that, so it'll be an extra inch or so just to cover. And then, because I don't want any weeds coming through, excuse me, I'm gonna get some of that stuff on it. That. I'm also going to be starting off some onions, which the onions are going to be going into these beds this time. They were in this bed, these 2 beds last year. In fact, they were in these 3 beds when we had 3 there last year. But I'm going to get the onions into these 2. But not today. I'm going to start them off today, but I'm going to be starting them off in trays inside there. Because I'm crazy. And then I'm going to plant them out after. End of November. When they all come through. Onions and garlic. Anyway, a bit late with it this year. Going to top that off now, guys. So as you can see there, you could probably play billiards on that. That's because I've gone over it with the brush and leveled it all out, filled any nooks and crannies with it. So that's fine now. It's topped off. It's got the feeding. Look at him there. Cheeky gat. I was going to say not a weed in sight, but there was one, wasn't there? So we're going to cover that up. All I'm going to do is, because this folds out into double, it's like folded over this weed membrane. So that's like a metre. And when you fold it out, so it needs to be cut. I'll cut it there, along there, with the scissors. Fold it out, and that should cover that bed easily. Because that's 6 foot, and that'll be 6 foot 6-ish. Because a metre's roughly 3 feet and 3 inches. That'll cover that bed. So don't run it that way if you've got a 6 foot by 4 foot bed like I have. Do it that way, and then we'll make a cut down there, unfold it, and then we can weigh it down. Okay, so it's cut, and there it is unfolded. I've started to weight it down as well. Now, if you're lucky or scruffy like me, as you wander around your plots, you'll find stuff like this. That's an old bit of concrete or something. There's bricks knocking about as well. So I'm going to have a scurry up here where I haven't completed my weeding. I'll have a scurry about up here and pick up some bricks for the weights. Now, you may have caught it earlier in the show. I found a couple of tent pegs knocking around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push those in through the fabric and pin it in the middle, and then I'm going to put that plank there on top. And that should be well sufficient to hold it down. The key to this is really, we get strong winds around here, especially through the winter time. And if the wind gets underneath these, they'll blow them all over the site. That's why I'm weighting them all down like I am here. This is the cardboard. I prefer the cardboard, to be honest with you, but I couldn't get hold of any. And we had some of this black stuff that I got off Ken. I prefer the cardboard on the beds and the black weed membrane on the paths, to be honest. But it's just for illustration purposes. You can use the weed membrane, that's no problem at all. It does the same job, but it's expensive. It's like £1 for a metre square. Yeah, so it's just above £2 to cover that bed. £2 English sterling. Anyway, I'm going to put them pegs in, them tent pegs in, and then put another weight in the middle, and that should be well sufficient. That's a big block of stone up there at the top. That should be enough to hold it down. The wind won't be able to get under and blow it all over the site. That's the whole idea. That's not what you want. So I've put the pegs in, and just because I had it, I've got that plant pot there, and it's got spring bulbs in, spring flower bulbs in. So that should come up. So we should have some colour in the middle of that, just to take your eyes away from the eyesore that's around it come springtime. Just because I had it. Alright, boys and girls, you've been fantastic, fragrant and beautiful as ever. I've been good in my finder. We'll take my weed membrane up and put it in the polytunnel up at the top and carry on and do a bit more tidying. But that's me for today for this show. Take care of yourselves and each other. Remember, we love you all. And if I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window. Catch you again next Sunday, probably. Alright. Bye-bye, guys. Ta-da.